Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. We have a busy couple of days ahead of us here. Uh, we have special visitors coming to 3 Mississippi. We've got Eddie's Family Farm coming out, and they're from Oklahoma. We have not met them before. They're actually going to be stopping by on their way to Alabama. So depending on timing of things, they might perhaps join us on our Wednesday night live. We'll see. But that will be at 6 o'clock this evening, Central Standard Time, of course. And as you can see behind us, if I walk this way, although it's hard to see the fencing from far away, but we restrung these lines. This is where the horse is going to be on this side, closer to the pond. We started down on that side as well, along the creek line, and got that going. And we finished the section up here. Just needs one more little section behind the goats, and that one gate put back in that's going to be actually wired shut. We will be adding another gate, but not just yet. So we actually have Bart, who you may remember from the farmers market videos. He does bees. He's a beekeeper, and he is famous around here for his Chickasaw honey. Everybody knows Chickasaw honey. And we discovered, or rather Mike discovered the other day when he was out here mowing, that there is a honeybee hive down here in, let's see if I can show you guys, in this water meter. And they're going in and out, and I'll see if I can't kind of turn it down there so you guys can see a little bit. But Bart's actually on his way over right now. You can see him all kind of coming in there. There's quite a few. And he's going to come over and collect this hive and join it with another hive that he had. A lot of people this winter in the South lost either whole hives or big chunks of their hives because we had such a drastic cold situation that happened that was kind of out of the normal. And so a lot of the bees didn't make it. I know Tim at Ridge Life had that issue with several of his hives not making it. And we did, of course, talk to Tim first to see if he wanted these. But he said, and Bart said the same thing, but Bart is only, 5 minutes down the road. Tim said, it's a late situation where the, spider web. Okay. And we're going to walk this way. It's a pretty spider web, though. I don't even know if you guys can see it, but I just walked right into that. So you never learn karate faster in your life. You're welcome. Anyway, he said that it's one of those situations where the queen kind of separates off, and these kind of, he called it something specific, and now of course I can't recall. But that they don't do well. They generally don't survive. So for him to make the 2-hour trip to come collect some bees that may not make it just wasn't worth it for him, which I totally understand. But for Bart, he's just, a few minutes away. And for him, he's like, sure, I'll see if I can save him and add him to another hive that he's got that's, I guess, maybe limping along a little bit. And maybe together they can make it. But the consensus, I can talk. The consensus was that, hey, Bunk, the consensus was that they would not, I can't say that word today. The consensus was that they definitely wouldn't survive in that hole through the winter, that they do definitely need to be moved. So, and because I would imagine that the guy that checks the water meter would also appreciate it not being there the next time he comes to check the water. So that's fine. We'll get them out of here and send them on their way, and maybe they'll be off to make honey for someone else. And then we can say next time we get Chickasaw honey, I just got an ant bite. Oh, I probably walked through a thingamabobber and didn't realize it. But anyway, anthill, that's the word I was looking for. But that's exciting. So he's on his way over here right now. So I just thought, well, I'll pop over there and show you guys real quick before he gets over there and takes it out. Of course, we will be filming that, and we'll show you that video of attempting to rescue the hive on 3 Mississippi. Oh, those ant bites, man. And I got hit by another wasp today on the front porch when I was out there trying to do stuff. I was talking to Mike. He popped out to talk to me about something. Now I got a pebble in my shoe. I'm just living my best life over here. Oh, I must have really stepped in anthills. I'm just getting eat up. Anyway, that's what I get for not walking out there with my muck boots on. But he stepped out to talk to me, and I was refilling the hummingbird feeders. All of a sudden, the back of my leg just lit up, and it got me. But it didn't hurt nearly as bad as the first one I got. And I asked him, I said, did you see what color the wasp was? Because I never saw the wasp. He goes, no, I didn't. I know the first one that hit me was a red one, and the ones that I had been seeing over here more were like just kind of all black. I didn't see any other colors on them, so it didn't hurt as badly, and it definitely hasn't been as inflamed. So I guess that's a win in that sense. But he's like, man, those wasps really like you. There's no nests over here. There was nothing going on. And it just came after you, because and then they started swarming my leg, and he opened the front door and he said, run in the house, and as fast as you can, just run in. And I ran in, and I was like, he's like, okay, they left you alone. But he said, yeah, there was like 3 circling you. Once the one stung you, the other ones were trying to come after you. And I was like, oh, lovely. So, and I weed whacked a bunch today. We're having company that we haven't met before. Eddie's family farm coming out. So I weed whacked under here all along. In fact, there was a bunch of stuff right in front of the excuse me, right in front of the storm shelter that had grown up. So I cleared that out, and I edged all along here, and did a few more spots under that tree. I did a big burn pile this morning, and just a bunch of odds and ends. Cleaned the house again. We had gone on a 4-wheeler and side-by-side ride yesterday after the fencing was finished for the day. We weren't going to do any more on that, and decided to go out on the property and look around. Not on our property. Our neighbors, they all kind of live right over here, are all family. They're all related, and they have a whole ton of acreage, just an absolute ton. And it's beautiful back there, and they run cattle on it and the whole 9 yards. And he hadn't been out there. Ryan hadn't been out there in quite a while. I think he said since his kids were little. And so he was like, I'll take you out there and show you, because in one spot they made a ford, which for those of you that don't know, it's when you take the one side of the kind of hillside going into like the creek and coming up out the backside, so you kind of make a place where you can cross, essentially. And he wants to do that over here between this property and the creek and silver pasture, so that we can actually get across it without going out and around. And that would be great to be able to do that. So I think at some point, obviously not everything can happen all at once. I know some of you get really impatient with, you should do this and you should do that and you should do this. And yes, we should do those things, and we can't do everything all on the same day, and some of these things require money, and we're not made of it. So we have to kind of chip away at things and be smart about the projects we choose to do and when we choose to do them. But that would be nice eventually to have that and be able to just take the 4-wheeler or take the side-by-side down into the creek and be able to go up and down the creek if we wanted, and up and over the other side. That'd be amazing. Amazing. So really excited for our visitors. As you guys are seeing this, of course, it's Wednesday, but as I'm filming this, it's Tuesday. So for us, they're coming tomorrow. But for you guys, it will be Wednesday today. And maybe they will be on our live. I don't know. I'm actually going to touch base with them a little bit later today with Brandon from Eddie Family Farms, and see if maybe they were leaving today from Oklahoma. So we'll kind of see what their schedule is looking like. And I'm going to make a big old pot of a kind of a stroganoff-y style situation dinner, because there'll be 6, 7, 8, like 9 of us. So, you know, it's easier to make something that's kind of a big pot of something, you know. So I'm gonna make a big old mess of something, and that's what we're gonna eat at some point. I don't know, maybe for lunch, maybe for dinner. We'll see. But I'm excited to meet them. I'm excited to have them over and show them around, and you know, get a chance to meet Brandon and Stephanie and hear a little bit more about their story. I've been watching their videos, of course, but you know, sometimes it's different to hear it firsthand versus, whoo, the bugs are loving me today, guys. That was another thing with a stinger. They're after me today. Whoo, I had to buy a lottery ticket. Holy moly. Anywho, that's the only thing that freaks me out too is the flying stuff. Like I picked a spider off of Frankie's neck yesterday. Like no, that stuff doesn't faze me. I just, when it's flying and I know that it can stab me, I don't appreciate. I guess that's my thing. Anyway, uh, so excited to meet them and have them over and kind of hear their story firsthand. They're, you know, bought a piece of property, 17 acres in Oklahoma that they're building their homestead on. So it'll be great to hear about their experience and what they're doing and what their next steps are. So looking forward to that. So make sure you go and check their channel out if you haven't already. And then also be on the lookout because there will be a video, of course, coming of their visit here, probably in the next week or so. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. And of course for the bees, because we're going to see what happens with those too. And then this Friday, of course, we will have our video out with our fencing and our I think I'm going to include the ride out to that beautiful piece of property that our friends own. Uh, so I think that's what's going to be in that video. But I've got a few little odds and ends that I've kind of filmed. So we'll see. I may stick some of them in there and some of them in another video. Just got to see where the flow takes me when I'm in the editing room, I suppose. But anyway, guys, we'll see you tonight on our live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we are hoping that you are having a wonderful week. And as always, stay blessed and safety's off.